Chinasa gave birth to a baby boy right there in the church. The congregation was in chaos.
She's not a virgin.
Someone whispered.
What is going on?
Others murmured. Pastor Ezekiel stood frozen, his face pale. Chike stepped back, his expression turning from concern to disgust.
Chinasa, what is this?
Chike demanded. Through tears, Chinasa confessed everything. Her friendship with Amaka, the night out, the gifts, and the pregnancy. The truth stunned everybody.
Yes, it's obvious that Chinasa is pregnant for one of her numerous boyfriends.
Exactly. So she's pregnant all this while, without her or anyone noticing.
Once upon a time, there was a young girl called Chinasa. She was so adored by everyone in the small town of Umuaka. Her father, Pastor Ezekiel, often referred to her as a blessing from heaven. She walked gracefully to church every Sunday, her dress flowing like a river of purity. People whispered as she passed.
Look at Pastor Ezekiel's daughter. What a fine example of godliness.
One elderly woman said.
Chinasa will make a wonderful wife one day.
Another added. But behind the smiles, Chinasa felt trapped. The constant expectations of perfection weighed her down. At home, she lived under strict rules. No late nights, no boys, no hanging out with friends unless they were from church. Chinasa's every move was monitored, and she craved freedom. One evening, as Chinasa sat on the church bench after choir practice, Amaka came close to her, chewing gum loudly. Her red lipstick and shiny earrings stood out in the church compound.
Chinasa, always singing hori hori, eh?
Amaka teased.
Amaka, leave me alone.
Chinasa replied with a small smile.
Let's go somewhere fun.
Amaka urged.
Fun? My father will kill me, you know.
Amaka leaned closer, whispering.
What he doesn't know won't kill him. You know, right?
That night, Chinasa stared at the clock in her room. Her parents were in the living room, praying as usual.
Just once,
she thought. She opened her window, slipped out, and met Amaka under the mango tree outside. Her heart raced as she ran through the dark streets towards a nightclub. Inside, the flashing lights and loud music overwhelmed Chinasa. Amaka handed her a bottle of beer.
Drink.
Amaka said.
I don't think.
Just one sip. Be cool, Chinasa.
She took the bottle and sipped. The bitterness surprised her, but she didn't want to seem naive. She smiled awkwardly. Overnight, sneaking out became easier for Chinasa. She became addicted to the things of the night, the music, the laughter, and the attention. Boys flocked around her and Amaka, showering them with gifts and money. One evening, a boy named Emeka handed Chinasa a sleek new iPhone 20 Pro.
Anything for my brain,
he said, winking. Chinasa brushed but didn't know how to refuse. At home, Chinasa kept up her good girl act. She would return before dawn, clean up, and dress for church. She memorized Bible verses and prayed loudly, earning praises from her father.
My daughter is an example to all.
Pastor Ezekiel will declare during sermons. But double life took a toll. One morning, Chinasa overslept after a long night out. Her mother knocked on her door.
Chinasa, are you not going to choir practice today?
Her mother shouted.
I'm not feeling too well, Mama.
Chinasa replied, faking a cough. Her mother entered, looking suspicious.
Why do your eyes look red? Are you sick?
I'm fine, Mama. I will just rest.
But before I continue with this story, I want to thank you so much for stopping by to watch my story. And I want to use this opportunity to thank all my subscribers for their love and support. And if you're a returning viewer, please do well to subscribe to my little channel and become part of the family. Thank you very much. Now back to our story. Her lies were piling up, and deep down, Chinasa felt guilty. But the temptation of freedom and gifts were too strong to let go. Months later, Chinasa felt strange in her stomach. She was feeling an urge to vomit in the mornings and couldn't fit into her clothes. Amaka noticed during one of their outings.
Chinasa, are you?
Amaka raised an eyebrow.
No, it's not possible.
Chinasa panicked. Amaka dragged her to a local clinic where their worst fears were confirmed. Chinasa was pregnant.
What will I do? My father will kill me.
Chinasa cried.
Relax. I know someone who can handle it.
Amaka said coldly. Chinasa reluctantly agreed. The procedure was painful and left her shaking, but she was convinced to herself that it was the only way to protect her family's reputation. This wasn't the last time. Chinasa fell into the same pattern every time, unable to break free. Each time she found herself in trouble, Amaka had a solution for it. One Sunday, after service, a handsome man approached Pastor Ezekiel.
Good afternoon, Pastor. My name is Chike. I have been attending your church for some time now.
He said with a polite smile.
Ah, Brother Chike, I have noticed you. How can I help you?
I would like to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage.
Chike said confidently. Pastor Ezekiel's face lighted up. Chike was a successful businessman, and marrying him would elevate their family status.
Let me pray about it.
The pastor said. When Ezekiel told Chinasa the news, she felt a mist of fear and excitement.
A husband? Me?
She stammered.
Yes, and not just any man. Chike is a wealthy and godly. You are blessed, my daughter.
Her father said. Chinasa knew she wasn't ready. Her past haunted her, but she couldn't confess now. The church was packed up. Chinasa stood in the bride's room, adjusting her white gown. Her hands trembled as she heard the choir singing in the background.
You look beautiful,
Chinasa's mother said, booming with pride.
Thank you, Mama.
Chinasa replied, forcing a smile. As the ceremony began, Chinasa felt a sharp pain in her stomach. She tried to ignore them, but it grew worse. Suddenly, she screamed and collapsed in front of the altar. Gasps filled the church.
What's happening?
Chike shouted, rushing to her side. Lord, stain the white gown as Chinasa went into rebel. Minutes later, Chinasa gave birth to a baby boy right there in the church. The congregation was in chaos.
She's not a virgin.
Someone whispered.
What is going on?
Others murmured. Pastor Ezekiel stood frozen, his face pale. Chike stepped back, his expression turning from concern to disgust.
Chinasa, what is this?
Chike demanded. Through tears, Chinasa confessed everything. Her friendship with Amaka, the night out, the gifts, and the pregnancy. The truth stunned everybody.
Yes, it's obvious that Chinasa is pregnant for one of her numerous boyfriends.
Exactly. So she's pregnant all this while, without her or anyone noticing. Now wow.
The congregation murmured.
You have disgraced this family.
Pastor Ezekiel shouted.
You are no longer my daughter.
Chinasa was disowned by her father and rejected by the church. Amaka vanished overnight, leaving her to face her consequences alone. Chinasa moved to a distant town, struggling to raise her child. She faced ridicule and hardship, but also began to reflect on her life. One day, she decided to write a letter to her father.
Papa, I know I've failed you, but I'm begging for forgiveness. I've learned from my mistakes, and I want to make it right.
Pastor Ezekiel read the letter with tears in his eyes. Mama Chinasa pleaded with him to forgive their only daughter.
Ezekiel, remember the prodigal son.
She said softly. Months later, Pastor Ezekiel traveled to see Chinasa. When she opened the door, she fell to her knees, sobbing.
Papa, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
She cried. Ezekiel put her into an embrace.
My daughter, I forgive you.
He said. Chinasa returned to Umuaka community, not as the perfect pastor's daughter, but as a woman who had learned from her mistakes. She started a program for young girls, teaching them about the dangers of bad influence and the importance of making wise choices. Although she had fallen, Chinasa found strength to rise again, and her life became a beacon of hope for others. The lesson of this story is that bad friends can destroy your life. Chinasa's story shows how following bad friends and disobedience can lead to shame, pain, and regret. It teaches us how to be careful about the friends we choose and the decision we make. True freedom came from making wise choices, staying true to your values, and avoiding those things that can harm your future. Even when we make mistakes, there is hope for forgiveness and redemption if we are willing to admit our wrongs and change our ways. The end.